it's Amy here and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be Battle of the Concealers. I wasn't exactly sure what to call this, but essentially I just wanted to kind of do a battle and like a comparison video of all the really creamy concealers out there. Now, I do have only high-end products. I don't really have a bunch of like really creamy concealers that I find comparable to these as far as the formula and the application and things like that from the drugstore in my personal collection. I know there are some out there, but I don't really have like some of the concealers from the drugstore that may be comparable, like the Maybelline Fit Me and things like that. So I'm only comparing like high-end right now, but I have 4 that I want to share with you guys some information about them and like the differences between all of them, swatch them for you and everything like that. So the concealers that are going to be battling it out are the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer, the Too Faced Born This Way Radiant Concealer, the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Concealer, and the Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer. So they're all different as far as their coverage, the formula, the applicator, and things like that, the cost, everything. So I just kind of wanted to break it down for you guys and share with you guys information about each product and what I like about them and what I don't like about them. I am going to be going in the order of product size just because I thought that would be easier, but the product that you get the least amount of product in is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. Now this is the one that I had first in my collection. I love it. I still love it. It's a really great one. And so this one you get 0.16 fluid ounces for $28. I'm going to read all of these off of either the Sephora, the Ulta, or the Tarte Too Faced websites. So this is 0.16 ounces for $28 and there are 11 shades. And so I'm in the shade Fair in this one and I am in the lightest shade in all of them so that you can kind of see a comparison. But this is the shade Fair that I will go ahead and swatch for you guys. Here is what it looks like. You will see a close-up of all 4 next to each other eventually. And then here is what the doe foot applicator looks like. Now this one is a doe foot applicator that's really bendy and moves really, really easily. I say that this one is medium coverage. It has a nice creamy consistency and it definitely has a medium consistency as well. It's not light. It's definitely not full coverage. It has medium coverage. It's really nice. I love the doe foot applicator. This is probably my favorite doe foot applicator out of all 4 I'm going to share with you guys. It makes it really easy to press it on the skin and for it to bend and just get into the hard to reach areas. This one is also a great concealer for using it as an eyelid primer. So I really enjoy this one. Now this is the one that you get the least amount of product for around the same price as all the others. So 0.16 ounces, 11 shades, $28, and here is what the shade Fair looks like. Now the next one that recently launched in the last couple of weeks, this is the Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer and I'm in the shade Very Fair. And this one again does retail for $28, however you get 0.23 ounces in it. So more product than the Urban Decay concealer. So let me go ahead and swatch this one for you. I do think that the Radiant Concealer from Too Faced does have a little bit more of a pink undertone, whereas compared to the Urban Decay one, Urban Decay definitely has more of a neutral to yellow undertone compared to these two. Now this one I'd say the formula is very, very comparable to the Urban Decay one. Medium coverage, very creamy, not too light, not too thick, but yet gives you a nice medium coverage. Now the doe foot applicator on this one is very similar. It's really nice to use. It gets it really, you know, a lot of product really easily on your skin, but this one is not as flexible as the Urban Decay one. So I do prefer the Urban Decay applicator if I was picking strictly on application between these two, but I do like this one. It's not entirely like so stiff. Like I don't like the Sephora brand one. One of my subscribers actually asked me to include the Sephora brand concealer in this review, but I told her I would just mention it because I have tried out the Sephora brand and I don't like it. The doe foot applicator is very similar to Too Faced except for it's extremely stiff. It does not move. I find the coverage really streaky and not very good. It doesn't cover very well. So I don't enjoy the Sephora brand, but I'd say the doe foot applicator is similar except for Too Faced is more flexible than the Sephora brand, just so you know. But really enjoy this concealer and they do have, let me share with you guys, they have 10 different shades ranging from very fair to very deep. Now the next one is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Concealer. Now I did review the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Concealer when the Rainforest of the Sea collection came out maybe 2 to 3 months ago. I again love all these concealers, but this one definitely has the most liquidy formula to it and I will go ahead and swatch it for you guys. I'm in the shade Fair. and it's got the most liquidy formula to it, and then it's definitely got the most lightweight coverage as far as feeling really lightweight on the skin and having light coverage. So definitely much more liquidy because it is an aqua water-based formula. Here's what the shade looks like. I do think it resembles more like the Urban Decay one, where it pulls more of a neutral to yellow undertone. So that is what it looks like. You can see though it's not as thick, that it definitely has more of a lightweight coverage. I think if you're someone getting into makeup, if you have aging skin, if you just need a little bit of coverage or just a little bit of radiance, you're really going to like the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Concealer. Really beautiful on the skin, just definitely a lighter weight coverage. And just so you guys know, this one retails for $26, but you get 0.34 ounces. So far, definitely cheaper than Urban Decay and Too Faced, and you get more product than both of those for sure. And it comes in a total of 6 shades, so it does have the least amount of shade ranges in the collection. So the last one I wanted to mention is the Tarte Double Duty Shape Tape Contour Concealer. Now this is totally different than all the other concealers as far as the consistency, the formula, the applicator, and things like that. There are a total of, let's see, 6 shades in the collection, so similar to the Rainforest of the Sea with the 6 shades. But this one is $24 and 0.33 ounces, so definitely the cheapest with a good amount of concealer actually in here. Now I forgot to show you on the other one, but this is the same exact applicator as the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea applicator. It's a very thick, it's not very flexible, but it covers a lot of area on your skin. So I actually don't mind this. It's not super stiff where it's like hard and it hurts to apply on your cheeks or on your under eye area, but it's just stiff in the sense that like you can't bend this wand. But I actually do. I've grown to really like this doe foot applicator because it covers a really nice area. Like you can get one swipe both ways and cover a ton of area. Now this is an extremely full coverage concealer. It's still very, very creamy. You can see, again, I kind of think it's very similar to the other Tarte color in the Urban Decay, where it kind of pulls a little bit of a yellow undertone, but it's got a really, really creamy formula that's very full coverage. But I will say, what I like about it is even though it's very full coverage and it's going to give you a beautiful, flawless face, it's still really creamy. It's not thick, it's not drying, it's still very creamy and moisturizing, but it's definitely full coverage. So the days where I feel like I have very dark circles or I just want to give a really solid, flawless look, this is my go-to. I'd say out of all 4, this is probably my favorite just because my personal preference is kind of full coverage. I love full coverage foundations. I like full coverage concealers, so I do really enjoy this one. So that was kind of a quick breakdown. Again, you should see a swatch coming through of all 4 next to each other just so you can kind of see how the shades compare, even though they're all the fairest shades out of all the collections. But now I kind of want to give you the battle aspect. Out of all of these, which ones are my favorite and why? So I think if you're someone that's just starting out with makeup, don't need a ton of coverage, but you want a little bit of radiance, maybe you have aging skin and you don't want a ton of product that's going to fall into fine lines, I think the winner is going to be the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Concealer for you. I think it's going to give you a really nice, beautiful, radiant look, give you a slight coverage, but yet it's not going to be super thick that it falls into fine lines and it creases and anything like that. Now, if you're wanting a medium coverage concealer, I would definitely go with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer or the Too Faced Born This Way Concealer. Both are fantastic. I love this one to death until I got this one. And I think the Tarte or the Too Faced Born This Way Concealer might actually beat out the Urban Decay one. Even though I love the doe foot applicator the most on this one, I find that this one is more radiant. This one gives more of a matte coverage, whereas this one will give you a little bit of radiance. Like, not just that it's a lighter color than my skin tone, so it gives a brightening effect. It just gives you like a very moisturizing, plumped up, fuller skin look to it. So between these two, as far as a creamy medium coverage concealer, I would definitely go with the Too Faced Born This Way Concealer. It's new, it's fabulous, it's gorgeous, you get more product than you do in here. Don't get me wrong, I still love this one, but I'm gonna get low pretty soon, and I'm happy that I have this one in my collection. Otherwise, I normally would have gone and bought another one, but I'm definitely gonna stick with this one for now. Now, the only option that I have for you if you do like full coverage is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I think this one is gorgeous. It gives you a beautiful full coverage flawless look, and what I love is even though it's full coverage, it's so creamy and so easy to blend out. All these are extremely easy to blend out. I can use all of them with a beauty blender of some sort or a brush. My preferred way is with a beauty blender, especially if you're using a full coverage concealer. I like to use a beauty blender to make it look a little bit more natural and to kind of sheer it out just a tad. But if I really needed a full coverage effect, I could go in with a brush. But all these look really great with a brush or a sponge of some sort. So all these are perfect. I think if it just kind of depends what you need out of these concealers. If you need coverage, if you just need a little bit of radiance, if you just want a little bit of coverage but yet you have aging skin or you're new to makeup, it just kind of depends what you want out of it. So definitely if you're young or aging skin, I would get the Aqua Sealer. If you're someone that wants a little bit of boost of radiance but you don't need tons of coverage but you just want a little bit to kind of perfect underneath the eye, I would definitely go Urban Decay or Too Faced Born this way. And then if you're like me and love full coverage or feel like you have very dark circles and you need the coverage underneath to hide, you know, any kind of discoloration or dark tones underneath, I would definitely go the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle of the liquid creamy concealers. All these concealers are seriously fantastic. You cannot go wrong with any of them. So it's a battle, but it's not. Everyone's a winner in this battle because I love them. It basically, all of these concealers I just use for different reasons at different times depending on what my skin's like and what kind of dark circles I have and things like that. So for you guys, I definitely would just pick out the one that suits your needs the best, but you definitely cannot go wrong with these. They're all wonderful and fantastic, and I would continue to repurchase these. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle of the creamy liquid concealers. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section down below if you have any other further questions, or let me know what you guys think of these concealers as well. I would love to hear your thoughts. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!